It got so bad that one morning I had a seizure in my office, and luckily my coworker who was walking by my office and saw me basically ran to my rescue. I accepted a job in Virginia last year, and it was an early Sabbath morning in February. I had gone to the restroom and I was heading back to my bedroom, and I remember waking up on the floor, looking up at my curtain. I'm wondering why my curtains were upside down, and then I figured I passed out. I'm not sure how long I passed out, but I knew I was in pain. I had rib pain and my head was hurting, and I had terrible headaches. So I crawled into bed, and the next 2 days I spent in bed and went back to work the following Monday and could not shake my headaches. My headaches were so severe, and the pain in my chest was so severe.
When Phil called me and said that he'd fallen in the night and was stuck in bed because he was in such excruciating pain, I was clear across the country. He was in Virginia and I was here in Loma Linda, Redlands, and I wasn't sure what to do at that point. And he thought maybe he'd tough it out for a few days, but it became obvious that the pain wasn't going away and he really did need to see a doctor. He flew home and we had no idea really what we were dealing with at that point.
They did a CAT scan as soon as I checked in the ER and found that I had a subdural bleed and cracked ribs.
We were just so grateful that God had protected him on the flight clear across country, realizing afterwards that he was traveling with a brain injury and broken ribs.
They took me immediately into surgery. Once I had my surgery to stop the bleed, the next morning I saw my neurologist standing next to my bed. He said, "Phil, I'm sorry to tell you this, but we got to go back in." And I don't remember the reasons why, but I do remember he said he was worried about me having a stroke and the pressure in my brain. I said, "Doc, you got to do what you got to do." I was not looking forward to my second surgery, but my second surgery went well, and I went home in 10 days and recovered at home.
We had no idea everything that was ahead of us at that point.
I had to get back to Virginia for my job, so I flew back. Meanwhile, I was developing fluid on the right side of my face. He said it'll go away, but unfortunately it didn't go away. It kept getting worse. It got so bad that one morning I had a seizure in my office, and luckily my coworker who was walking by my office and saw me basically ran to my rescue.
I was at work and I got a call from one of Phil's coworkers saying he'd had a stroke or a seizure. They weren't sure, but he was being helicoptered to Roanoke, to the hospital there. I was definitely very scared and broke down and cried in my office, being clear across the country, not knowing what exactly was going on. I didn't even know at that point actually which hospital he was being taken to.
We got to Roanoke. Thankfully, God again sent people in my life. The head neurologist was Dr. Witcher, a Christian man who actually has been to Loma Linda. He's a Sabbath keeper. So we had a long talk about the Sabbath, and he did my surgery, but once he went into my brain, it was severely infected. It was so badly infected that they had to take part of my skull out and throw it away. So I was walking around for the next 8 weeks with just skin over my brain. They made me wear a hat, a special helmet, when I was driving, and I would look at the corner of my eye and I would see people just staring at me like as they passed by me, but I didn't care. I had to do what I had to do.
There was so much out of our control with all of Phil's accidents and surgeries. There is nothing that you can do sometimes but pray, and it just forces you to really trust God, talk to God, give your troubles over to Him, and we definitely found Him trustworthy over and over and over again. Looking back, we realized how God had taken care of Phil by sending a coworker into his office right at the start of his seizure. They caught it in time for him to be ambulanced and then helicoptered to Roanoke. My whole family believes wholeheartedly that Phil was connected to the neurosurgeon who saved Phil's life in Roanoke, Dr. Witcher.
A lot of friends praying for me at Azure Hills Church, at Withville Seventh-day Adventist Church, and a new church that was my neighbor where I worked. Just amazing outpour of love. I was just so amazed by that.
I was posting updates on Facebook, and friends and so many people from Azure Hills Church responded in wonderful ways. Some people were connected at Loma Linda Hospital. People dropped off meals and cakes and prayed, and it was such an outpouring and such an encouragement to us during a very dark time in our lives.
Yeah.
And we will forever be grateful.
Friends are God's way of taking care of us, and He took care of me. Don't ever give up. God loves us. He never stops loving us. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning to dance in the rain. So I've been dancing because I know He's got me all the time. Sometimes the results are not what we want it to be. I've always known that God's with me, and I never gave up hope. I knew I had a good family and friends, so it helped me keep going.
There are just so many things to be grateful for along this journey.
We are the Mathews, and this is our story.
I'm Pastor Tara Van Cross, and we're so glad that you've tuned into our Azure Hills Church YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe, and click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time we share new videos. We are so glad that you're here. Until next time, please know that we're praying for you as you continue to be a voice of hope.